A wildlife expert is actually encouraging people to stop killing snakes. He says despite the rise in snake bites across Georgia this year, snakes are actually a big help. Channel 2's Craig Lucy met with this expert in Cobb County this afternoon. And Craig, you learned today there's a big difference between a rat snake and a copperhead.
Jovita, a copperhead can cause serious tissue damage. Take a look at this picture. This is how people get bit. They're working in their yard, and you can see how well this snake blends in. People just step right on them. They don't see it at all. Now, there is a big difference, and there is a way to avoid a $100,000 medical bill. And the expert that I met with today says, stop killing them.
Nothing makes me sadder. It makes me nauseous.
Matthew Field has been catching snakes since he was a child, and he made a career out of it with his all-wildlife control business. But he's alarmed by the number of people killing snakes.
Good snakes are called good snakes because they're eating the things that we don't want, like rats and squirrels and chipmunks and things.
And Field says people need to be educated.
99% of the snakes they're killing are not copperheads.
Look at this picture from UGA. On the left, that's a venomous copperhead. On the right, it's a water snake which will not harm you.
The other big enemy of a copperhead is a king snake. And so if you're killing the king snakes, then not only are you leaving rats, but you're also leaving the copperheads.
Matthew Field says the best way to avoid getting bit in your yard is to run a weed eater, run your lawnmower an hour before you actually do your yard work, because you can see it blends in perfectly. But if you run your weed eater, it gives them about an hour to get out of the way.
So that is a copperhead.
While we were at this Cobb County park, a cyclist spotted a copperhead that had just been killed.
I think it's lack of education.
Field agrees and says you have a choice.
Your choice is either rats or copperheads. You have to make a choice.
If you do spot a copperhead, call a wildlife expert because it should be removed, and where there's one, there are more copperheads. Now, if you do kill it, this is important, do not touch it for at least 24 hours because its head can become an involuntary muscle. So if you were to touch it right here, it can actually bite you and inject venom. $100,000 at the hospital.